Hey, if this is the rest of the franchise, then I am excited. Guys, how's everybody doing since Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is almost here? Here are my thoughts on Mission Impossible 3. Starting out with my positives on Mission Impossible 3 is the action. Now, the action in the first two movies, they had standout moments. Some of them are good, but this movie is just a fucking thrill ride with these fucking action scenes. These action scenes are awesome. The stunts performed for them is amazing. The explosions, the action, the acting, it's just awesome. The two standouts are the opening when they're saving Lindsay, and then the scene on the bridge. That whole scene on the bridge where there's people just jumping out of helicopters and shooting at them, shooting missiles at the bridge and breaking it and killing innocent people. That is a whole awesome sequence. And that's not even, it doesn't even end there. There's also other great action sequences when Ethan goes to save his wife and everything. This movie, with its action, is amazing and phenomenal. I cannot believe how much I adored the action. Like, when I watched the first two movies, I'm like, yeah, there were some standout moments, but there wasn't much action. And I was like, I really hope it gets better. Oh, and it does. It really does. The action in this movie is amazing. I love the action, especially that opening scene when they're saving that one girl and all that. It's amazing. I love the action in this movie. I'm so excited to see how good it gets in the rest of this franchise. I really hope it gets better because this was an awesome action movie. That whole bridge scene like I talked about, that is probably my favorite part throughout this entire movie. Is just that whole bridge scene. Like I was literally like doing this. I was sitting in the seat I'm sitting right now, and that whole action scene they were shooting bombs. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck's gonna happen now? I loved it. Need to explain the action boner I have right now. Positive is Simon Pegg. Now, Simon Pegg is more of a comedy person from what I've seen from his work. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and The World's End and Paul, four of my favorite comedies of all time. I think he's a very funny person, and sure, even in Hot Fuzz, there's some serious moments, but he's also very. I was like a bit nervous to see what he can do in this franchise, but I found it funny that he was in the rest of the movies. I was like, well, if he's in the rest of the movies, he has to be good, and he is good. He doesn't have much to do in this movie, sadly, but his character Benji, I think his character is pretty interesting. We don't get to see him much in this one, but we get to see him more as we go on. Simon Pegg is a great actor. I've always thought he was a great comedy actor, but what he does in this movie is awesome. And I feel this guy needs to get more roles out there. I feel he shouldn't be looked at as just a comedy person because he's really good in this movie. Like I said, he doesn't have much to do, but what he does do is awesome. Especially the scene where he's helping Ethan find out where his wife is being held at and everything, which is pretty cool scene. Like how he's trying to keep it secret because his whole team is trying to look for him because apparently he did something and all that, but really, they don't have an explanation of what apparently he did. And he's just on the phone. He's like, okay, go left, go right, go take a left at the next turn and all that. He's kind of like his own, like, Google Maps thing. Simon Pegg is a great actor. I'm glad to see that he was in this franchise. I'm very intrigued to see where he goes from here. Hopefully, he gets more screen time. If he doesn't get more screen time, shame on you! I also really like how in this movie, this is like a wholesome movie where Ethan he doesn't tell his wife where he actually works. He tells her the generic thing that he has to go to the office. He has to go there for the office and all that. And it's like okay, that's kind of generic, but he doesn't want her to like when you first hear it. Like, does she even know that he's like a cop basically? But no, she doesn't know that. When I first heard that he was like going to the office, I'm like, oh, he she doesn't know that, and which I like, and it's like a thing that's like trying to keep a secret because he doesn't want her to get hurt or get found, and all the stuff that he works with is top secret. But then that all goes to shit. I really like that where he tries to keep it a secret from her, and at first, like he's trying to explain it to her, but he doesn't want her to know. And I really like the wife character, Julia. She's pretty cool too. I really like how this is like a whole movie where he's trying to keep his wife safe and keep his actual job secret so she won't get hurt. It's a very nice little thing going on here, and it makes you and which I like in this movie where you feel that it would go this way. In other movies, when a husband has a wife and keeps the secret from them what they actually are, they'll call him every now and then, like, "Hey, I need you to do this. What are you doing?" But they don't do that, which I like because it just shows that Julia really trusts Ethan. Like but she knows something's going on, but she trusts him, which I really like. That's why Julia is a very likable character. She trusts Ethan for what he can do. Like she doesn't like feel worried about him. Like I don't want you to do this or anything. She trusts him for what he does. Like she doesn't do the generic wife thing where calls him up like, "What are you doing? How you doing?" and all that. She doesn't assume that he's cheating on her because they get married in this movie, obviously. Julia is a fantastic character, and the whole thing keeping a secret from her is awesome in this movie until that goes to shit. Kind of like a little short positive thing. But I did like seeing this where we've all seen in the Mission Impossible movies where they make a mask of somebody's face, and then they pull it off. It shows that it's Ethan or something. In this movie, you actually get to see how they do it. Where I always just assumed they just got like a picture of them and then they just made it, but that's exactly what they do. They take a few pictures, they get the side of their face, they get their face, the back of their head. They have to get like every inch of it so they can model it exactly, and like you get to see how it's made. Like they get the pictures, they bring it over to the machine, and then it just scans it, and then it just makes it. Sure, that's nothing really to point out, but that's really cool. And the way that it's making it, where it's showing how it's made, it's pretty cool. I even like how it showed how they get the voice of somebody, where they have to make them read off a card, and then they have to like type through a program to get it linked to the voice so it can sound exactly like them. Sure, like again, nothing really great to talk about, but I've always thought that was pretty cool, and that's always what I assume that how that's made. But it's a smart idea. I'm assuming they do it more throughout the franchise, but it's just something I thought was pretty cool. And like that whole bathroom scene where they're trying to get it linked, and it's like a very suspenseful thing. Like, is that bodyguard gonna find out that something's going on, and then they're gonna have to knock him out too? But I just, it's cool. Jesus, if I haven't sold you on this movie yet, just watch the goddamn movie. Really, asshole? We're gonna mow our lawn right now. Positive is that I really, really loved this villain in this movie. He was very intimidating. Like, especially like this movie just opens with Ethan tied up to a chair, and supposedly his wife is in the next chair, and he's like threatening him. He's like, "Where's the rabbit's foot?" And he goes, "But I gave it to you." And he's like, "I'm gonna count to 10, and you're gonna tell me where the rabbit's foot is." And when he gets to like three maybe or four, he shoots her in the legs like, "Do you think I'm playing?" And I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on here? Like that whole scene, like you're kind of already sold on this villain just from the opening scene, and then like that whole scene when they're on the plane after they kidnap him and try to get to find out what the rabbit's foot is. He's like, and when Ethan's talking, he's like, "What's your name?" Because whoever, do you have a wife, girlfriend? Because I'm gonna hurt her. Because when I get out here, I'm gonna hurt her and I'm gonna make her bleed and I'm gonna make her cry out your name. And you're like, dude, this guy's like super chill about it too. Like he's like confident that he's just gonna get out. It's just like he's not gonna be like, the second I get out here, it's just like I'm gonna get out. He's just like I'm just gonna get out. Like he's a very cocky person. He's terrifying in this movie. Owen is his name, and he's played what's the I forget his actor's name, where he's very intimidating. So far, he's my favorite villain. By far, my favorite villain. Out of all the villains so far, he's the best one. He's the best written. He's very intimidating. He's very scary. And he's also so fucking interesting. Like, you want to see more of this guy. Like, I want a prequel about this guy. If they made a prequel about this guy, I would only watch it because of him. He is fucking cool. I really like the villain in this movie. He's easily the best part about this movie. Well, it's besides from the bridge scene. He's so cool. Like he's just like you kind of want to hang out with this guy though. Like he's so intimidating though, and he's like so intimidating. He's so badass though. But this would be a guy I would hang out with. I feel I would go to the bar and have a drink with this guy. He's so cool, especially his voice. I don't know what it is about his voice. It's so calm it's so calm, and like when he's angry, he just sounds so calm though too. Like I don't know. I really like this villain. I don't think any other villain's gonna top him because this guy's fucking cool. Final positive is that I loved the stunts in this movie. We've known Tom Cruise for his stunts. We know Tom Cruise that all the most dangerous stunts pulled off in movie history. And this movie shows it. There's a part in this movie where, which is the standout of the stunts, is where he's on top of a building and he's trying to get into this building. He jumps off the fucking building and he's just falling down, and then he just like goes and he just crashes right in. And then the next part when he finally has a rabbit's foot, he jumps out a fucking window onto the ground. Like well, not onto the ground. He jumps out of a window, takes out his parachute, and then he just like lands on the ground. That whole scene, I didn't know that was a stunt at first, so I had to look it up and everything, and that was an actual stunt that he did. All I have to say to that, clap you jerks. Kind of just shows how great Tom Cruise can be with his stunts. Sure, he pulled off stunts in the first two movies, like, but those were really anything but in this movie. Really shows off, especially that bridge scene when he's actually getting shot at. I want to clarify with like blanks, not actual bullets. That'd be dangerous. They would not allow that. Blanks, and he did get hit a few times. Tom Cruise is awesome for his movies. You need to give this man an Oscar for stunts. Why don't the Academy Awards give out fucking awards for stunts? No, guys, I really don't have any issues with this movie. I really enjoyed this movie from beginning to fucking end. This is a great movie. This is a great action movie. This is so far my favorite Mission Impossible movie, and it's gonna take a hella Mission Impossible movie to top this one for me. So this is a movie where you must go out and buy it. What do you guys think of Mission Impossible 3? Is this your favorite of the franchise? Do you think this is for some reason a downfall of the franchise? Let me know in the comments below and we will talk about it. If you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. But until my next video, take care.